So this is about what the title will say, a narcissist. And I have a different way of looking at this than there are a lot of YouTube clips about talking about a narcissist. But the funny thing is, I was talking about this kind of stuff before I even knew what a narcissist is. And I was learning about healing methods before I even knew what a narcissist was. I always thought a narcissist was somebody who looks in the mirror. But then I started to notice within the last few years, probably more so around 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, till now, 21, 22, 23, that a narcissist actually preys on you. I think I started noticing it in 2002, actually, because I knew somebody who was that way, and I knew he wasn't my friend no matter what I did. And people told me that he's not your friend because they have so much hatred within their soul. They're so quick to put you down. It's like what they live for. And so, no matter how hard I tried to get along with this guy, the only thing he would do is sort of like a mathematical equation. What he would do is um, always figure out money stuff to make sure he gets more than what he owes me. And then he always. And so, let's say, for example, I had to transport something for him back in 2002. No matter what happened, no matter what, he would figure a way out to give me the blunt end of the stick. Like, you say, how much do you want? That's how scammers do it. As soon as you tell them a price, to chop off 20, or chop it in half, or whatever, and then they try to do something on their own, and then they need you again, and then when you come to their rescue, they throw you in the garbage again. So I can't make such a long YouTube video, so I'll get to this point. Recent thoughts that since a narcissist is always going to talk behind your back, you're always going to feel that when you talk to them, because you don't know that. You're being honest and genuine with them, and they just had a full session of telling someone how much you're a piece of garbage, and then when you talk to them, they're looking at you. And somebody once told me that I talk at them and not to them. A narcissist will always switch the role and say what they are and blame it on you, pull the rug out from under you and pretend they're the angel. And I never understood, what does it mean to talk at someone? I don't talk at people. What do you think, I'm a cow? No, a narcissist is actually a cow. And another thing a narcissist also does is when you're happy about something and you feel a sense of achievement, they'll always, what they'll do is they'll switch the role instantly to pretend that they're the teacher and you're the student. So let's say that you ran an Olympic marathon and you're happy with your goal. And then you see them and you say to yourself, oh, nothing can possibly go wrong if I tell another human being. No, if you tell a narcissist, they're going to inject you with as much hate as you cannot take any of it to destroy you. It makes them happy. So as soon as you say, oh, I just ran the marathon, as you're saying, I just ran the marathon, for each syllable of every word, they're going to chop you down, and you don't even know how. I'll tell you how. They're not going to care. They're going to just want to ruin you by saying a nonsense phrase. It's going to be, like I've said in my other videos, an idiom, 3 words or less. Oh, that's cool. 3 syllables. Oh, just want to make it sound like they care. Oh, that's nice. And the famous one is that's good or that's great. That's good. That means who cares? That's what it means in narcissistic language. And they're saying, oh, that's good. They're being sarcastic. You're saying, oh, I just did this is I just became this is my first open heart surgery that I ever did. They'll just say, oh, that's good. It's just like it's like they're making fun out of you in front of you. That's their goal. After they talk behind your back, they always want to say it to your face. Let's say if they say, oh, that guy is a really bad mechanic, and then they'll just walk up to you one day, and this is their ultimate achievement. They'll say it to your face. They'll say the do you know. There'll always be the know, you, and do. Do you is an action word. Do you is like do you drink? Action drink. Do you drink Coca-Cola? They'll always use that do you the wrong way as a way to inject you. So they'll say, do you know? And then the negativity words. You are a bad mechanic. The stuff that they talk behind your back to put you down. Do you know that you're a bad mechanic? Now you're on the spot. You're cornered. And no matter what you say, they're going to make fun out of you. If you deny it, you're explaining yourself. When you're explaining yourself to a narcissist, you're losing the game. And if you don't explain yourself, you're a little bit better. And if you say, yeah, I'm a bad mechanic, then they're going to say, okay, I'm going to tell everyone you just admitted it. So it's like talking to somebody who's has the mindset of a 5-year-old. And they act like a 5-year-old. They even make up words like Humpty Dumpty and Painty Wainty and Mechanicy Anarchy. That's how they speak because they're 5 years old. And they think they're the teacher and you're the student. You can say, look, I just da-da-da this. And they'll say, oh, very good. They'll say, oh, you know, meanwhile, they don't know how to do what you just did. They'll just act like they're the teacher. And they'll steal stuff from you. Narcissists live for being plagiarists. They're trying to memorize everything you say to them. And they're not thankful people. They won't say, oh, thank you for telling me that da-da-da vitamins help me with my. They'll say, oh, and they'll give you so much post-traumatic stress disorder because they keep injecting you over and over again until you're dead. They'll say, oh, you'll say, oh, take this certain vitamin since you're feeling that way, and they'll hit you with the how do you know to explain yourself. And as you're explaining yourself, they're putting their bad energy into you, and they think you don't realize it, and you might not. They're saying, you're just saying, take this vitamin, and a normal person has it's back and forth, like in the military, take this vitamin, yes, sir. It's like syllable wise, take this vitamin, yes, sir. But with a narcissist, it's like this, take this vitamin, and there's a blank space of them being a 5-year-old, and then they'll push it on you, and they'll say, they'll like question you, oh, how do you know that I need to take that? And that's how they break you down. They break your mind. Oh, and then that's how they become in charge. Like they're asking you a question. They're becoming the teacher. You're telling them, take this specific vitamin. Now, as they become the teacher using words, how do you know? And then you start explaining to them. Whatever you explain to them, they'll pretend it's their knowledge. Oh, because you need da-da-da-da-da, oxygen, da-da-da, with your blood, this, that, this, O2, and then they'll absorb that and steal it from you, plagiarism, and they won't say anything. Part of being a narcissist is they don't give you information. They give their circle of flying monkeys information, but you're not in that circle unless you're a piece of garbage. Everyone in that circle is a narcissist, and they all want your money. You're going to get the least amount. What's the other part that I wrote down for this? I wrote, they talk behind your back. They want to be a teacher. They store venom. Yeah, and they want to give you a lot of mental anguish. All these things are written in all the other YouTube videos in which I learned from, and I do watch them, but I can only take so much of it because I have to do creative things. It's one thing about a narcissist. They're not creative, they're destructive. And they're destructive so much. And they love being destructive. There's one thing I noticed about a narcissist. I cannot play music in front of in front of a narcissist. I just because there's so much hate pointed at you. They're trying to learn each thing that you do and mimic you, and they're not listening with their heart. They're just like when you try to show them you can't even like show them anything because they're not trying to enjoy it or to respect you. What they're trying to do is figure out how to kill you and steal your knowledge. It doesn't make any sense. It's like you're trying to show them. I don't think a narcissist is fully capable of enjoying music. That's one thing I did notice about a narcissist. And another thing I did notice about a narcissist is that when I'm sitting in a car with them, not always, but sometimes they won't leave you alone. They start pointing things out to you. And when you ask them to stop doing that, because you're busy thinking about your own issues or you're busy looking at something else, or you say, can you just leave me alone? They just switch the role on you, and they start to like get super, like start a real fight with you, like a physical fight. Where you say, listen, just stay on your side of the car, keep your hands out of my fucking face. And they just start with you. They just put their hand like right into your eyeball, and you say, dude, back off.